afternoon, ma'am. My name is Era Pitalosa from BSF 2A, and I'm going to report that 12.4 hydrogenous sediments, 12.5 cosmogenous sediments, and 12.6 sediments distribution. Hydrogenous sediments. Occasionally, chemical reactions occur that cause these substances to precipitate out as solid particles. Hydrothermal vents. In this system, seawater percolates into the seafloor where it becomes superheated by magma before being expelled by the vent. These particles make up the smoke that flows from a vent and may eventually settle on the bottom as hydrogenous sediments. A black smoke or hydrothermal vent, the smoke consists of dissolved particles that precipitate into solids when exposed to colder water. Manganese nodules are rounded lumps of manganese and other metals that form on the seafloor, generally ranging between 3 to 10 cm in diameter, although they may sometimes reach up to 30 cm. To the left portion, the manganese nodule from the subtropical eastern Pacific Ocean. The nodule is 4.1 cm in diameter, and in the right picture is the field of manganese nodules on the seafloor. Evaporites are hydrogenous sediments that form when seawater evaporates, leaving the dissolved materials to precipitate into solids, particularly halite or salt NaCl. Beginning around 6 million years ago, tectonic processes closed off the Mediterranean Sea from the Atlantic, and the warm climate evaporated so much water that the Mediterranean was almost completely dried out, leaving large deposits of salt in its place, or an event known as the Messinian salinity crisis. The picture is shown that the salt farmers harvesting salt left behind from the evaporation of seawater, Pakthale, Banlem, Phetchaburi, Thailand. Ooliths are small rounded grains formed from concentric layers of precipitation of material around a suspended particle. They are usually composed of calcium carbonate, but they may also from phosphates and other materials. So the picture is shown as the ooliths from beach on Chalters Cay, the Bahamas. Methane hydrates are another type of hydrogenous deposit with a potential industrial application. All terrestrial erosion products include a small proportion of organic matter derived mostly from terrestrial plants. The picture in the left shows the methane hydrate on fire. In the right portion is methane hydrate within a muddy seafloor sediment from an area offshore from Oregon. 12.5 Cosmogenous sediments. Cosmogenous sediment is derived from extraterrestrial sources and comes in two primary forms: microscopic spherules and larger meteor debris. Spherules are composed mostly of silica or iron and nickel, and are thought to be ejected as meteors burn up after entering the atmosphere. Meteor debris comes from collisions of meteorites with Earth. Like spherules, meteor debris is mostly silica or iron and nickel. One interesting form of debris from these collisions are tektites, which are small droplets of glass. They are likely composed of terrestrial silica that was ejected and melted during a meteorite impact to it, which they then solidified as it cooled upon returning to the surface. So the picture is a tekstite-like glass found near the Volkhov River in western Russia. 12.6 Sediment distribution. Now that we have an understanding of the types of sediments found in the ocean, we can turn our attention to the processes that cause different types of sediments to dominate in different locations. Lithogenous sediment accumulates the fastest, on the order of 1 meter or more per thousand years for coarser particles. Marine sediments are thickest near the continental margins where they can be over 10 kilometers thick. This is because the crust near the passive continental margins is often very old, allowing for a long period of accumulation, and because there is a large amount of terregenous sediment input coming from the continents. Cosmogenous sediments could potentially end up in any part of the ocean, but they accumulate in such small abundances that they are overwhelmed by other sediment types and thus are not dominant in any location. So the picture is the distribution of sediment types on the seafloor. Within each colored area, the type of material shown is what dominates, although other materials are also likely to be present. Coarse lithogenous or terregenous sediments are dominant near the continental margins as runoff, river discharge, and other processes deposit vast amounts of these materials on the continental shelf. Lithogenous sediment is also common at the poles, which thick ice cover can limit primary production, and glacial breakup deposits sediments along the ice edge. The depth at which calcium carbonate dissolves as fast as it accumulates is called the calcium carbonate compensation depth or calcite compensation depth, or simply the CCD. The lysocline represents the depths where the rate of calcium carbonate dissolution increases dramatically, or similar to the thermocline and halocline. At depths shallower than the CCD, carbonate accumulation will exceed the rate of dissolution, and carbonate sediments will be deposited. So the picture is calcareous sediment can only accumulate in depths shallower than the calcium carbonate compensation depth, or CCD. Below the CCD, calcareous sediments dissolve and will not accumulate. The lysocline represents the depths where the rate of dissolution increases dramatically, or VW. That's all. Thank you.